And Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be holding bilateral talks with Chinese President Xi Jinping on the margins of BRICS summit in Russia's Kazan on Wednesday. The meeting comes on close heels of New Delhi and Beijing reaching an agreement on patrolling arrangements in areas along the line of actual control as per the situation in the year 2020 that may lead to disengagement and resolution of other issues in the future.
I can confirm that there will be a bilateral meeting held between Prime Minister Modi and President Xi Jinping tomorrow, 23rd of October, on the sidelines of the BRICS summit.
And we have Akshay Dongre joining us for more on this. Well, Akshay, good morning. If you talk about the Prime Minister's visit to Kazan, Prime Minister's bilaterals are scheduled. And yesterday also Prime Minister met President Putin. How does India's role in BRICS reflects its geopolitical ambitions, especially in contrast to its alignment with the Quad?
Well, if you look at the current structure of BRICS right now, Lipakshi, then India is one of the key founding pillars of this grouping that has, in terms of PPP GDP, has also surpassed the G7 countries, whereas the G7 countries' global percentage in terms of GDP is around 30%. The BRICS countries are now contributing over 35% to the global GDP. That truly reflects how important BRICS has become. But when it comes to India, India brings a lot of key elements to BRICS that perhaps would leave an unavoidable, unfillable gap. Rather, that includes India being one of the world, India being the largest democracy in the world. Second is India is a major, in fact, the world's fastest growing major economy, and also one of the youngest countries in the world. So all of these elements that are being brought by India in terms of weightage to BRICS is what truly makes BRICS a very important multilateral organization, multinational organization, and that is what BRICS has been boasting from its inception, from its beginning, that it has some of the world's fastest growing economies. That includes China, that includes India, that has Brazil, it has Russia, and later it also involved South Africa, and now new members keep on joining the grouping. But another aspect that India has brought to BRICS in terms of the grouping is the fact that India is fastly emerging the voice of the global South. And now, because of that, a lot of developing world, a lot of global South countries are taking cues from India, are also lining up to try and join the grouping, which has several now applicants, especially coming in from the global South countries. So that truly shows how India's involvement and India being the key member, the founding member of the group, has impacted this very important global organization.
Right, Akshay. Also, India has been increasingly vocal about representing the global South. How do you think with this summit will help in leveraging BRICS as a platform to address the challenges and interests of particularly the developing nations?
Well, also, if you look at the structure of BRICS, the definition of global South essentially means the countries that are developing, that were at some point of time colonized. And when it comes to the grouping, you look at most of the partners that are in BRICS. You have India, you have China, you also have Brazil, you have South Africa, you have Iran, and other countries of the global South as well. Barring countries like Russia and a few more, you have most of the countries coming in from global South already. But when it comes to India's involvement and India being extremely vocal about the issues of the global South, India's involvement here at this forum as well, and India's voicing the concerns of the global South has also made those countries quite intrigued about the agenda of BRICS. Unlike several other international groups where it is sort of And it has become a gang of groups. It has become a group. For example, if you talk about G7, those have become, in many terms, elitist groupings where not a lot of countries were either invited or are invited or can take part when it comes to the proceeding of those groups. But when you look at BRICS, it has been inclusive. It has been purely on the financial basis, also on the geopolitical basis as well, where the countries, especially the major growing economies, could take part. And it is not an organization that works in silos. So it also has been giving opportunity for through BRICS Plus, where many other countries that are not even member can join and can rather be part of this massive geopolitical movement that had started with BRICS.
All right, Akshay, thank you so much for all those details.